Okay, well, we're live on Facebook and it's getting recorded. So, uh, first, I put together a new introductory slideshow. So, we're going to do that first. Hopefully, it will go smoothly. Okay. All right, welcome to Raising Happy Kids Zoom Show, episode 45. Raising Happy Kids with the One Rule. During this 1-hour Zoom show, I focus on sharing tips and lessons on the one rule to raising happy kids. Each episode has at least one example of the one rule in action, demonstrating how it helps you raise a happy child. Then, when we have guests, we have Q&A and discussion. When I talk about raising happy kids or creating harmony with kids, I bring up the one rule. The one rule equals agreement. Agreement equals harmony. Using the one rule means you find agreement. That's the rule. You find a solution that everyone likes. You've found agreement. You've found harmony. Knowing and following the one rule is all you really need to create harmony between you and your kids. In any situation where there are differences that might lead to conflict between you and your kids, use the one rule. I learned this strategy from 3-year-old children. I was teaching them a complex conflict resolution strategy, actually intended for adults, and they taught me this. So don't think you're in for a rough time. It's simple, it's easy, it's powerful and effective. It works if you use it. The one rule: start strong. You have decided that you really want harmony with your child. That sounds so good, right? You have decided that you do not want to make your child do what they do not want to do, and you do not want to do what you do not want to do, and you're going to make this work. You have decided that you want to use the one rule to make this happen. This is going to become your new habit. You remember that when you use the one rule, you are sharing the following messages with your kids. I want us all to be happy. We are each important. Together we can solve our problems. I believe in you. I love you. To create this new habit, you are going to start with yourself and what you want. You decide that you are going to let how you feel about a situation determine whether you agree with it or not. If it feels good, then you can agree with it. If not, you cannot. Ask yourself, is this situation okay with me just as it is? If yes, good. If no, what would have to change, be different, so I could feel good about it? Maybe several versions of this situation would feel fine with you, maybe only one. This exercise, this practice, helps you make a habit of following the one rule. No matter what age your kids are at this exercise helps ensure a strong start and makes following the one rule so much easier. Here is something that might make following the one rule even easier. Recently, I asked myself a question. What do I want people to feel when they are connecting with my work? I definitely want them to feel good about themselves. Then the following answer appeared to my surprise and delight. I want people to realize that they are already using the one rule. That understanding surprised me, and as more and more of it was revealed to me, it delighted me. Of course, people are already using the one rule. I'm not teaching them anything they don't know. I'm not teaching them anything strange to them. I am just helping them expand their use of something they use daily without thinking about it. They use it. You use it. Every time you come to a decision inside of yourself, you're using the one rule. Most likely you had to consider several options or possibilities to reach that decision, even if it just took you a few seconds for you to agree with yourself. That is what I want. You also use the one rule whenever you agree with someone else. Together, you come to a decision, an agreement. Yes, tomorrow I'll go to the auto parts store after I get my nails done. Even with your kids, you're using the one rule. You are coming to agreements. Think about it. Of course you are. You're just not thinking of it as a rule, as something required. So, at times, you are not coming to agreement. I'm here to help you think of coming to agreement as required, as a rule, as the one rule. You just expand the situations where you come to agreement until coming to agreement is just what you do and your kids do. It is the rule you and your kids follow. When you use the one rule, you are creating harmony. Your kids are creating harmony. You're becoming used to creating harmony, familiar with how good it feels to everyone involved. One point to be clear on is that even if a situation seems complicated, and it seems that it is impossible to find a solution that everyone involved can feel good about, it is still possible. The important thing to remember is that there is a way for things to work, so everyone involved gets to feel good. Keep that in mind. This has been my experience whenever I have made this effort. When you actually start working with your kids using the one rule, helping them follow their interests is one of the easiest ways for you to start. You can understand that, right? It is also one of the most beneficial things you can do for your kids. Why is it good for your kids to do what interests them? One primary reason is that their interest is a key to helping them become the best versions of themselves that they can become. When we do what interests us, we are very engaged and focused. Think about doing something that interests you. When we are engaged and focused, what we do and produce tends to be of much better quality than if we were not interested. Interest helps result in excellence. An even more important result of being engaged and focused is that our whole being is involved in what interests us. That is why we are engaged and focused. We are experiencing harmony, inner harmony. That is a good reason to allow and encourage our kids to do what they are interested in doing. I have observed children doing what really interests them, and they become peaceful, harmonious people, even if they were not before. Now, that does not mean that everything that interests our kids is going to always interest them. They may be interested for 10 minutes or 10 hours or 10 days or 10 years or even a lifetime. The point is following their interests, not the specific thing or experience that interests them. So please help your kids follow their interests if they ask for your help. If for any reason you really do not want to do what they are asking you to do, that is a perfect time to use the one rule. Another reason for helping your kids follow their interests is one that is taking care of you too. When they are eager to do something instead of resisting it, doing it, you do not have to encourage them to do it or insist that they do it, let alone force them to do it. Think of how much of your time and energy could be available for you to use as you wish. I actually think it is the one rule in action, taking care of you and your kids. So realize that you are already using the one rule and just expand it. Make it a rule that you follow to create harmony with your kids. I'm glad you're here. Okay. All right. That is the new slideshow to introduce people to the one rule. So, now I'm going to find some things that I wanted to share with you today. Let's see. As I was reading it, I thought of this one example. I'm going to have to open it up though first, and then I'll screen share it so you can see it too. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is an easy way. I wasn't going to share this with you, but it does have what I wanted to share with you in it. So this is the 4th magazine, and it's pretty close to done. I know probably most of you have seen the first one, but I'm not really sure if you have seen the other ones. Okay, first, even though it's one of the last stories here. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go back and screen share so you can see this. Okay, where is it here? Okay. I thought of this when I was saying in the introduction, I was saying that even if a situation seems complicated, there is a way to find harmony with everyone involved. Oh. Oh, okay. I'm gonna stop this share briefly and admit a guest, Sera. Hi, Sera.
Hi. My computer was having trouble. I wasn't sure I could get in.
I can relate.
Up on me.
Yeah.
Glad I got in.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So you didn't see the new slideshow, right?
I saw something you sent me, but I didn't look at the whole.
I didn't send you the slideshow.
No, the book. I went through the table of contents. I want to send it to Katerina.
Okay.
And, see what she thinks. And also, I was thinking about the bullying books. Different kinds of, because I was talking to a couple of young mothers recently, and the bullying books I was thinking more for schools.
Yeah.
You know, like I think Brian was talking about, like he was working at schools, and those kinds of programs were really well received at the schools and stuff. So if somebody did that kind of a program, to have that kind of a little book that could be given out, even like in a pamphlet style, it could be brought home to the parents.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's like a storybook. It's almost like a reader, but it's also kind of a. I was in my picturing of it. It was like something that could be really well illustrated, like a very nice kind of art kind of illustration that the children would enjoy.
Right. That would be very nice. Yeah,
and there's two different illustrators I'm thinking of, but probably there's a young girl who has a very good, style. She does in watercolors. Like kind of a dry watercolor.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. So but Katerina is the one I'd like to show the Happy Kids. The one you sent me, that PDF file.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure which slideshow.
I just
right now.
Yeah, no, you haven't seen it. I just completed it. It's my new introductory. So I have a short introductory, just a few slides. That's the one I've mostly been doing, but I created another one which is longer and goes into more. And I was kind of thinking, because I want to share this more widely, that this new slideshow would be another helpful tool for people. So I'll send it to you. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
And then you could take a look if you ever have time. So yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be good. Yeah, I really do want to get, I have a couple of different ideas of the time when I was in Brazil about making some children's storybooks.
Nice.
I want to try to, I'm starting to paint again, actually.
Wow.
Do you know, you
Nice.
remember Judy Moreo? Do
Yeah,
you know Judy?
I know. I went to a class of hers once, and she knows my sister, so we have a little bit of connection that way.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you know, how do you know Sandy Castell? I mean, I know you introduced Sandy to Kimio.
Right. Well, Sandy, um, somehow we heard about how, I don't remember how. Um,
Was it with the Women's Chamber of Commerce?
no, no, it wasn't. It it was her performance. We went to see her um, at Sienna's. She
Sienna?
was she was singing like every week or something, and somehow we heard about it, and we
That
ended
was
up,
you and David?
yeah,
Or, oh,
and we ended up going regularly,
oh,
and we just the connection just built from there. So
oh, very nice.
yeah.
Very nice. That's great. Yeah, anyhow, I started taking a painting class with Judy just in her home, you know, but
Oh,
I really want to get back into it. Um,
nice.
yeah,
Wow.
I
Huh.
mostly did it because my daughter, Sisa, she wanted to do it also. So I
Okay.
can give myself the excuse. My daughter's always saved me.
Aha.
She's right here at the door getting ready to go to work. So
Okay.
I had to just say that out loud.
Well, that's nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good. It is good. I need to finish some of those paintings he started though. I didn't finish some of the paintings, so I need to finish them.
Ah,
But
okay.
Judy's gonna come back and she's gonna do a class at UNLV, the continuing education class. So I'm gonna take
Uh-huh.
one or two friends with me and probably go do that class at UNLV also.
Yeah, the class I took from her was on being a speaker.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that was the class I took.
Oh, okay. Actually, I wanted to take that class, but I knew I didn't have time. I
Yeah.
like doing public speaking as well. If it's a topic that I'm, really feel is important.
Yeah.
Have a good day. I'm in the middle of my living room. It's like my husband, he works the night desk at the IPEC. So in the morning, I don't have my bedroom
Right.
and my office is in my bedroom.
Ah,
But
yeah.
it usually works out pretty well. I can get other things done while he's sleeping. So
Yeah.
then later I get to work in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Batul recently, or is
Um,
she still doing those forums that she was doing?
she hasn't done any more that I know of. So,
I was just speaking to somebody yesterday from Nepal, and I was remembering her connections in Nepal. There are
right.
two nice young men who were
Yes.
college professors, like
Right.
junior professors, or I don't know, junior, but yeah, I was thinking of people over there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, I've been thinking about um, putting together the cards. Do you remember that what the idea that came up at the last show of
Like greeting
creating a
card?
card deck.
Oh, right,
Uh,
right, right. The card deck. Yes, the deck of cards.
yeah, the card deck.
I couldn't remember. It's like business cards or greeting cards.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no, coffee table cards. Cards. Deck of cards. Yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't started yet, except just in my mind. So
Mm.
I liked Leslie's idea of having, the different steps for the one rule on the back, and then having problems, and then finding solutions. I mean, anyway.
I think that's a really amazing thing to do. And somehow, as being an English teacher, I feel it's necessary to have like cards up your sleeve or somewhere in the deck where you have like 3 or 4 possible solutions to that one problem.
Oh,
But you
that's
never reveal it. You never reveal it, but it's all kind of like um, set up. I mean, how can I say? There's backup where you're playing the game, and then it's really good practice to shift your mind so that those solutions can flow. You know, because
right.
if you're in that gear or in that mode, you can actually see solutions. But if you're in the mode of no way am I going to let my child decide for themselves anything. You know, I'm the mom, I'm the dad, you know, they're supposed to just listen and know that everything I say is perfect. You know,
Right.
because I'm
No,
older.
no solutions are gonna, there's not even a tiny opening for one in that.
Right, right.
No,
So you
right.
have to kind of come out from there and
Okay.
and see that there, okay, I've got this problem. How can people agree on something when these 3 different people want 3 different things, you know? And what's the core element here? What's something that everybody wants more than the thing that they're demanding, you know?
Right.
And
Right.
then people can come to like conversation, and maybe some of the people are not in that state of mind where this is ridiculous. How could this ever work? You know?
Right.
But some people are more, you know, some people are always on different levels. And then maybe some people can come up with something, but in case, you know, it's a toughie or something like that, there's something that maybe the first go round, you, I don't know, you don't want to give away the answers all the time, you know, but each problem should have a solution.
Well, no, you don't know, but um, my youngest daughter said that I think for his birthday, my grandson got, oh dear, now it's not going to come to my mind. There's a game, and it's been around for a long time. And she was telling me how it goes because they were playing it. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where you choose characters and you choose maybe powers, and you choose
Yeah, even your weapons or your costumes or different things.
yeah.
Right.
So it kind of was like, since this idea of the card deck had come up, and it was kind of my mind was like expanding into that, like, because she was saying that there are certain kinds of solutions, and I was thinking like maybe that would be a good thing to incorporate. And from what you're saying now, it could be really helpful for people that would like to do this, but can't see how, you know?
Karen, just occurred to me something really, really new, is that, I mean, as you started talking about Dungeons and Dragons, I also started thinking of a video game that my son plays called Zelda.
Uh-huh.
And when you go into the scene, there's this little figure, and he's running through all of these different environments,
Yeah,
like beautiful grassy mountains and stuff. But then monsters jump out, and you have to defeat them. And you have to know, like, if you keep throwing arrows at them, maybe after about 9 or 10 arrows, then the monster will be defeated. Or you can stop and you can switch your weapons, or there's magical foods that you can eat, or different kinds of ways to solve this puzzle. Every different
right,
scene. Or you come to a box that has these strange writings on it, and you have to decide how to get to that box or how to open it, that chest. So what I'm trying to say is, like,
yeah,
this is kind of the game, kind of makes it like a puzzle. And this is really interesting because there are certain kinds of people, like engineers, who are really into puzzles, but they do not understand that personal relationships are also puzzles.
mm,
Because some engineers are incredibly antisocial people, because they don't understand that what to do in a social situation, and maybe sometimes they believe that other people know things that they don't know about
huh,
social interaction. But if there's a game like this for families, that you can see your relationships as puzzles, that there's a problem, that there's something that you have to figure out, as far as everybody wanting to have harmony and wanting to be around other happy people, but
right,
you don't want to compromise their dreams, their goals, their hopes and dreams, or
right,
their talents. They don't want to just be a
right,
doormat for somebody else to wipe their boots on, And so this can be kind of like a way for people to recognize other people and realize that in social interaction, it's a lot like solving puzzles, but in order, like, one of the mediums to solving those puzzles is communication,
right,
you know, and being able to talk, you know. And so this game is maybe a very good way to practice looking at uh, puzzles, like different desires, different needs in the home, and putting it in that kind of a way people can actually practice solving problems, as far as, or finding solutions to
right,
relationships, to different people's needs or desires.
right.
It's interesting though, that because I never really thought that the socializing and puzzles could really be a bridge, like that have some kind of connection.
Right.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, because it is like a puzzle,
Mhm.
and it could be a puzzle, that you can solve really quickly. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes.
Yeah.
Um, and and for anyway, but yeah, I hadn't thought of it like that, because I love puzzles too. So I can relate to puzzles.
Right. Yeah, I remember my mom and my stepfather, they taught math back in the 70s, and they always had their rooms full of puzzles. You know, not just puzzles, but like these lava lamps and stuff. You remember the lava lamps?
Yeah.
And there was a cube that had some kind of heavy liquid inside, and you could turn it over, and you could just watch the way it dropped down. You know, kind of like those sand windows.
Yeah.
The way you could turn it, and you could just
Right.
watch how the colors mixed.
Yeah.
And those kinds of things, I feel that same kind of vibe from you,
Uh,
kind of that era of kind of freeing up children and students to see things creatively, you know, to see creative solutions, or to enjoy, like, well, the objective was to enjoy mathematics, you know,
uh-huh.
to enjoy what you're doing,
Right.
and to have that feeling of freedom, to understand it, to process it, to own it. Actually, that's kind of what I feel coming from you, is that same kind of thing, that children would be able to actually own their decisions, you know, like
Right.
human beings, you know, or a family, because a family could make those decisions together.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's very good.
Yeah. And the thing is that when children start young doing this, which really is in their nature to do, it they're really comfortable with it. Then as they grow, their attitude is not, it's like, how can we work this out? How can, what
It's
what
proactive.
needs to happen? Yeah. And so and then as adults, they're like that also. So
Yeah, I think they really they're well versed in like a positive and harmonious outcome. You
yeah.
know, it's a yeah. If somebody was really raised like that, then they wouldn't see so much conflict everywhere, or
Right.
like power struggle. They could see like you know, yeah, win-win solutions. You know,
Right.
where people are benefited and everybody prospers. You know,
Right.
from it.
Yeah,
It's
I
something
think
that's
people will prosper much more than if they're kind of wasting their time and energy fighting with people about things.
yeah,
I don't think that's going to get people very far. So I
yeah,
think that working together can produce a lot more goodness for everybody.
right. And without the kind of fallout when there's a struggle and there's an I win and you lose, a kind of thing. The winner
Right.
actually doesn't really win, because they take home so much stuff that they actually have to push down. It's like, it really didn't feel good to kick out that other person, or to, like, you know, dominate everything. It didn't
Right.
actually really feel good to know that that other
Right.
person was sad and maybe lost their job, or maybe, you know, has a difficult situation now, that they know in their inner being they contributed to somebody's suffering, so they're not really winner in
Right.
that situation, you
And
know, on a deeper level.
yeah, yeah. Also, it was pointed out to me um, by someone who lived in kind of a hardcore area that if you don't get along with people, it can cause you more trouble than
Oh,
if you do. If you get along with everybody, then no, you don't have to be concerned that anybody's going to be out to get you.
right.
And if you do, like you were saying, win over somebody, there could be their family and, you know, people you don't even know who would want to get back at you for hurting their family members. So, and that's in a, you know, real practical, where those kind of things really happen in places. So there's just, I think, a lot of good reasons for getting along.
Yeah.
And
That kind
that's,
of comes back to the whole bullying thing too.
yeah,
Was where, you know,
yeah,
similar situation.
totally. Yeah, yeah. Now that students are going back to school, it might be a good time to introduce those, the guardians and all of that.
Right. Yeah, and I know you sent me some of those Guardian books. If I search my email, I'll
I
probably find them.
can just resend them. I'm going to send you um, the slideshow, and I'll send you those also. That will be easy for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
And
would
then,
be great.
sure,
Yeah, that
I
would be
will
really
do
great.
that.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
And I just have a question that's completely off topic, but
Okay.
do you watch the Peace and Blessing Festival?
Yes,
Yeah. How
I
did you
did.
feel about it? You mentioned about interracial, international couples. It was very nice. And you said about in India, there was a, you know, matching, like arranged
Oh, right,
marriages.
right.
But
I mean, yeah.
what did you feel about more than that? Is there other things? Do you remember the program?
When she was talking, until she got near the end, most of it, it was like, oh yeah, this is a great time for me to put this work out in a way like I've been thinking. And it was just felt, I just felt like her words were very supportive of this work and these efforts. And then she brought up the the couples and the blessing and all of that. And so hmm, well,
What did what did you think about? Was there something else about the ending part or something?
um just that when she said that was where she wanted to put emphasis, on getting that, you know, like stronger and out there, and um, blessing the marriages. And so I guess I feel like what came up at last week's show of making my work a gift to go along with that, um, so that well, because my emphasis is on the children, so that when the children are there, that these ways of interacting uh, are strong. They're just sort of what they do. Um, it just seems to really fit in with this whole
Strengthening families.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So but that was your takeaway. It wasn't just Leslie's. That was from you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
But it didn't appear until our conversation in the show.
Oh, I see.
And
Oh,
all of a sudden it was like, it just seemed like the absolute natural thing
very
to,
clear.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And
very good.
now I don't know if I told you, but I told Leslie that about the book that I sent you, including like, because I think the card deck was an idea of a game for the families to use this uh, to make the one rule, how just sort of how they interact. Um, but I wrote about including the book. The card deck, of course, is not physically available at this point.
Yeah.
Um, but the book is at least digitally available. Um, anyway,
So we had a event just a couple of days ago where Katerina and Angelica together, they gave a 4-hour a seminar called The Cornerstone of Peace. And if you look at that recording, I can send it to you and you can look at it in chunks, because there's 3 different segments. Um, I think you'll see like the first segment, I think Katerina, she put a lot of work into it. There is a brother named Robert Patel, and he's in India, actually. And he put this cornerstone of peace together. It's from his work, and this is touching on divine principles that have been the foundational teaching of Father and Mother Moon for the last 60, 70 years. But Robert Kittel, he put them in a slideshows in a very kind of an everyday fashion that secular families can easily understand and apply. And then Katerina, she put on like kind of a feminine twist to it. And then I think the first session, she really put in a lot of updates and current um, challenges that people are facing in just the atmosphere that we're in right now, you know. And so it was really well done.
huh?
Katerina and Angelica both, they did really good presentations. So I think Katerina, she can look at this book also, at your book, and see she's doing a series. I think she's going to make it a series of webinars for young mothers, and
Oh
it's
wow.
called #Yomo. Yomo is for young mothers, Yomo.
Okay. Right.
So it's reaching out to a lot of unificationist women, these church, all different kinds of Christian churches who are receiving the blessing. You know, they are also looking for programs for, young families, right? So
Right.
I believe Katerina may be able to read it and be inspired by it, because she has the 2 little boys herself. And also in that seminar, the 4-hour seminar, Cornerstone of Peace, she actually shared it, in that particular recording. That was the first time they launched it, actually. And I think there were 30 participants. And it was very well done. So I could send you that recording
Sure.
today sometime. But also I'm thinking, you know, if you'd like, that I was for sure like to send Katerina the book that you sent me, the file that you sent me.
Sure.
The Happy Kids, Raising Happy Kids.
Yeah.
So I think, and also here in town, Sera Holmes. Did you have a chance to meet Sera yet? She only moved here a few months ago.
I don't
Like
think so.
5 or 6 months ago, I guess now. Like a little before, let's see, we're in June. She was here, actually, it's like, yeah, it was a little bit before Christmas that she came. Like right in the middle of COVID. But anyhow, she's expecting her second child now. But she helps me with Women's Federation a little bit now. She's on our core team with Mary, myself, and Jennifer Solario. Jennifer is a young woman who's helping us with office skills, office
Nice.
management. And Sera is also going to help us with PR.
Oh, wow.
Relations and events. But she's expecting, and she's not really free. She has a 2-year-old.
I think she came on the show once or twice.
Yes, that's
right?
the one. That's the one.
Yeah,
She
all
grew
right.
up in Brazil. She was born in Taiwan and lived in France for a while. And then I know her when she was about 11, I think, or 9. I think maybe her brother was 11. I think she might have been 9 or 10. And she grew up in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. Then on.
Oh.
Her dad is from France, and her mom is Japanese. So she has like 5 languages.
Wow. Cool.
Japanese, Korean, English, and French and Portuguese. Yeah, 5 languages. So yeah, her husband is from LA, and her husband's father is a jazz musician.
Wow.
And it's totally cool. And her husband's mother is from Malaysia. So he's half Asian also, half African American and half Asian. And it's just such a beautiful couple. It's just like so beautiful. And so she's really she's a real go-getter, but she studied early childhood education.
Okay.
So she has all the theories of the university like under her belt. And then at the same time, she's raising children in this multiracial family, you know. So it's very interesting. I think she'll be great to, like, if Katerina is interested in doing this, that we can inspire Sera as well to work alongside Katerina, because if you just ask one person to do it, they're like, oh man, I've got so much going on. I've got this to, you can't believe how behind I am. My husband cooks dinner for us, you know, and you know.
Right.
So I want to be able to kind of inspire Sera about it, that we can actually get it out there for the young families, you know, for the really good moms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be really great. And then, you know, for the schools, it can really help. It just can really help the culture, right? It can really help the whole, just like the blessing, you know. You've got to really do something that people are going to understand that commitment is worthwhile. You know, the commitment, it has benefits, but both parties have to be there in the commitment, right? It takes 2 to tango. So, but if people are understanding that, you know, there's certain limitations I might have, but there's support there for me, you know, and they want to have that committed relationship, but sometimes they don't know how to deal with everything that's that's going on inside also.
Right.
We all need support with those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope we can push things along little by little,
You're right.
you know.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna be seeing Katerina, I think, soon because she's asking about who is interested in um, uh, uh, who is interested locally in doing a program in the Cornerstone of Peace. So the file I'll send you, that recording I'll
All
send
right.
you. So
I'll
it's a
take
little
a
bit
look at
shorter
it.
than 4 hours because that included lunch and breaks. So it's basically 3 sessions. So it's
Okay.
probably maybe 2.5 hours. If it's, yeah, something like that, 45 minutes each session.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to
Oh,
get going, actually.
okay. Yeah, well, it's time, so
Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad you were on and we got to talk.
Yeah,
And I will be sending you the slideshow and the Guardian stories.
uh-huh.
Do you want I'll send them to you in their slideshow format if you
Yeah,
like. I
okay.
figured that's how you would want them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I have them in a document also written out, but it's different,
Right.
than looking at the slideshow. So
Yeah,
whichever.
yeah, maybe the slideshow's fine, I think. And then
Okay.
document might be useful later on. I'm
All
not sure
right.
what
You can let
Katerina.
me know if you want the
Okay,
document. All
okay.
right. Okay. We'll do that. And I'm going to be sending you the letter that I have so far.
Is
Because
the letter to UPF or the letters to?
well, it's potentially to a number of organizations.
I think I read about it because you mentioned other programs like an event in where was that?
right, the one that, yeah,
Bali?
that's what inspired me to put this letter together.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay.
yeah, just wanting to get this information out.
Right.
So anyway, I will send that to you because I think yeah, I will send that to you. I was gonna do it before the show, but I didn't get there. So
All right.
okay.
Thanks, Karen. It's always good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too. All right. Take care and we'll be in touch.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye. Okay, well, that's the end of the show for today. Was enjoyable to have an unexpected guest, and see you next week.